Hey everybody, this is another trail hike that we're going to do. This is Lebanon Valley Rail Trail. I have to look at what road it's actually off of. Long Lane. But right near Ebenezer. I thought it'd be cool to go for another little hike. I've never hiked along this part of the trail. We're only going to do so far. But this is going to sort of be a little bit, I guess. I talked about the country vlogs take me home. This will sort of be our vlog while we're out here hiking. Talk about a couple videos that are coming up. I mentioned in we've been doing these videos, which I've decided I'm going to do as a series for family history and that type of stuff. We did one on the lights, two on the lights actually, and then one on the Grove family cemetery and on their mill. Sort of go a little more in depth about specific families. I just think it's pretty neat. Here's one of these caterpillars, and I think it's the more black they have, the worse the winter is going to be, so the more brown they have in the middle. I'm not sure if that guy's still alive or not. A dead raccoon earlier. Throw him over there in the grass. But so we're doing one on the Heilman family. We went through Heilman Dale and then went over to Hill Lutheran Church Cemetery, and there's about, I think it's 144 or 147 Heilmans that are buried there in that cemetery or have some kind of connection, direct family connection. And so we went there, and then we'll do a little bit more. But I talked about one friend, his mom just passed away yesterday, so I'm helping him out a lot right now. So I figured this morning I was supposed to go to the hanger clinic and get my new shoes. Unfortunately, it didn't happen because the doctor was sick. I didn't realize I had a message, so I figured while I'm out, get a couple live videos before I go back to help my friend, and go from there, because there's a lot of preparations. It's a lot to take on. I remember from when my dad passed, it's just, you have so much of the emotions, and then you have the event itself of what happened with your loved one passing. It's a lot to take in. But like I said in the Heilman video, if you haven't told someone that you love them, do it, because it really is. I think a lot of times it's easy to take for granted. I went to go see my mom Saturday, I believe, and told her that I loved her, and it just makes you appreciate the time that you have with the people that you love. But yeah, so with the channel, I've been doing a lot of research on Zane Grey, so I'm hoping to have a video out on him and a Zane Grey house that Colleen sent us for the channel viewer submitted video. I'd like to get that up. Also been doing a lot on General Braddock that Angela sent, so I'm hoping to have that up this week. And what was the other one? There is another I was researching it, now I can't remember anything. But some good stuff. Oh yeah, it's remembered for a second and then forgot again. I have a lot on my mind right now, but I've been doing I had a couple years back, maybe 2019, when I did the industrial floor work, we used to go up into the Finger Lakes region, Corning, Hornell, Elmira, and then up in the actual Finger Lakes region would have been like Horseheads and Bath, New York. And I made a trip. Right near Bath is a town called Hammondsport, and they have a museum there in dedication and remembering Glenn Curtis. He was very involved with bicycles, eventually motorcycles, and then airplanes. The guy was a brilliant guy, and a lot of times he's forgotten, which is a shame because of what he's all done. But so I went there. They have a cool video that they have there, but the pictures aren't that great. Unfortunately, whatever camera I use, they're a little blurry-ish, but it'll work. And I just want to sort of take you through a tour and then talk about the man himself and just his accomplishments. He made a lot of advances with motorcycles and engines and that type of stuff, but especially with airplanes. He came up with a lot of really neat ideas that were adopted. He also had a pretty poor relationship with the Wright brothers, which was interesting. They just had different ideas of, like, if you came up with a general idea, like say for airplanes, like the Wrights did, they thought that they owned every design for aircraft, so that's why he got sued, because he designed his own. He sort of had that as well with automobiles. Henry Ford, if you didn't give them like residuals and money off of the money that you made, they would sue you because they own the right to the automobile, which pretty ridiculous. So I get that back a little further, but so I want to do a video on that. That came up in my Facebook memories. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So if you ever get up in that area, and I'll talk about it more so obviously in the video, but pretty neat story. It's a cool place to visit. You could definitely spend a lot of time in there. He was a bit of a speed demon as well. He set a lot of land speed records for back then, which were ridiculous. And the motorcycle he had was ridiculous because it had like a V8 engine on it, which was nuts. But I think they rebuilt the original airplane that he flew up in that area. And also they rebuilt the motorcycle that he set the land speed record with at that time. So we'll be doing that. There probably will not be a whole lot video wise, live videos. I'll get out if I can, but a lot of my time this week through the weekend will probably be taken up with helping my friend out. So, and I appreciate any prayers for him, because it's a tough thing losing your mom. So, and he's been a sole caretaker for her for the last year. I mean, he's been longer than that, but 24/7 care last year. So it's a tough thing. But yeah, you can hear the male squirrel like, "Rah, rah." I used to love to scream at them when they did that. They'd be sitting there and their bushy tail flipping around. They were agitated about something, and they'd be doing their squirrely things. I just gotta watch the battery on this, because when it's cooler like this, I am switching over to the new camera. I'm hoping by this weekend get that set up, because as it gets cooler like this thing just drops from like 90% to like 20% in no time. So does good filming. I'm very happy with this. I'll probably still do my country roads take me home with the phone camera, just because it's easier to handle until I get like a GoPro camera and I can get the setup just right, so you can see the drive where it looks nice. But I figured Let's go for a morning hike here on the Lebanon Valley Rail Trail. Not quite sure how far this goes, or even the exact location and pathway that it goes through, but you know, the original rail trail where the railroad would have went through, but I'm not sure where in relation. I believe Union Canal, probably along that tree line, is where that goes through. I'm probably wrong about it. I think that's where it is, because it goes down through, and the Union Canal Tunnel Park would be out that direction. It's somewhere in that direction. But I'm really hoping, if depending on where things go, I would like, if possible, to be able to doing a little bit more traveling. Ralph and I were talking about some places here in the near future that we might go to, some more really cool scenic towns. I'm gonna let him pick in that regard. I sent him a couple suggestions, and then we'll go from there. But there's a cool little bridge. But I think we're gonna turn around, because I am done for right now, and I don't want to push it too far, because I've been sort of... So hey, I am back in Chuck. I decided there at the bridge that, like I said, I walked back because I was tired. I feel good. It's just I don't want to push it too far. I got a lot going on next couple days, so I want to make sure I'm able to be on my feet. But yeah, so we got a lot coming up on the channel. I'll be doing a bunch of these Country Roads Take Me Home Fall Edition. I'll probably film a bunch of them in a row and then sort of split them up throughout October and November, because I think our peak season in this area in Lebanon County, probably another 2 weeks, and then the leaves will really start to fall. Maybe it'll last a little longer, give us a little more time to go do some more of those drives, but I'd like to hit a couple of them and do that, and go from there. But we'll have a couple different things I want to do, get a couple of the other series started up again, and that kind of stuff, and then go from there. But the next week is going to be a little different. I'm going to try, what videos I do get out are going to be the ones where the viewers submitted videos, thanks to Colleen and Angela, Kim and Cheryl and Chris from Sun Plus One. So we'll be doing those. I also had some ideas that were sent my way by John, who said about, like, first piano was, I believe in America, the first piano may have been built here in Pennsylvania, probably Philadelphia, but I'll look that up, research that, because music is something that plays a very important role in our lives. And I know in Lebanon City, I believe it was Jared that said one of his relatives actually, they either ran or owned either organ or piano factory right there in Lebanon. And I know there was a couple different places in the area that built organs and pianos, so it's something we'll talk about. We'll look at that history as well, probably in the next coming weeks or something of that nature. I say that and sometimes it just doesn't happen, but the live videos I'll get out if I can, but I sort of have a feeling after the two that I filmed today, it's just not going to happen over the next couple days. So the Zane Grey one, hopefully will be coming out maybe tomorrow. That or the video for Glenn Curtis for the museum up there in Hammondsport, New York, that I did like 3 years ago, probably in the summer of 2019. And yeah, so we'll have a bunch of really cool stuff coming out, continuing. Channel seems to be hitting that stride again where it's growing pretty nicely, whether that was just a one-day weird thing or it's actually growing. We'll see. But I'm happy with where things are at. There's a chipmunk across the road. They always have their little tail up in the air and like, sort of like me when I walk to to go use the restroom. I sort of weird walk with my balance, like one of those baboons that's going across the water because they don't like to get wet. So anyways, I want to say thank you as always for coming along on this weird hike vlog thing that we did. It was just sort of what I wanted to do last minute. It was like, nah, let's do that. I wanted to hike this. I think this goes from here at Long Lane over to Tunnel Hill Road, where the Union Canal Tunnel is, but I'm not sure. I had to look at the maps and stuff like that just to see where exactly this goes, because I think what I was seeing down on the other end was the gate for over at Union Canal or Tunnel Hill Road. I'm just not familiar where exactly that is, because some of these are hidden pretty well. If you don't realize they're there, you won't realize they're there. But anyways, so thank you once again, everybody, and as always, we'll see you all about town.